Hey, Wrestle fans, you're listening to the Wednesday Night War podcast, NXT Takeover Vengeance Day review. What's up, Warheads? Wednesday Night War podcast, Takeover Vengeance Day edition. I'm DJ. I'm here with Brett.
Hello, Dennis. How are you?
Wow. I actually want to edit that out of the show.
I'm sorry. Why?
Because I hate that with all my passion in my heart.
Well,
Yeah. So see what you did?
Well, now I feel bad.
I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna bleep it out.
Yeah, but people are gonna think like I called you something real bad.
I know they are.
Well, that's bullshit.
Well, you shouldn't have said it.
I didn't call him anything bad.
We just got done watching Takeover.
We fucking did, man.
Like what, half an hour ago, I guess.
Yeah, and
Time it takes to set everything up.
Usually, yeah.
One day I'll set stuff up. Well, I guess we can't because we eat dinner here, and then,
Yeah.
it'd be kind of hard
What?
eating dinner around the
Use
setup.
your head.
I'm sorry.
Use your noggin.
I don't normally.
Yeah, you do.
That's true. Oh, we just finished watching Vengeance Day, and it was I don't know, it was a show.
It sure was, man.
It was a show. We're gonna talk about it. We got a little bit of news because this is gonna be great because we're gonna have no news to talk about next week on Thursday.
Yeah.
But there was some news today that came out that we want to cover. One of which impacts the show, kinda in a way, not really, but something does happen we need to discuss.
Sure.
But go ahead, there, Brett. Let's talk the news.
I feel like I'm like you're putting me on the spot here. I'm Dan Rather.
Uh-oh.
Some rumors and then some confirmations came out today of some new signings for the Black and Yellow brand.
Yes.
And
It's us. We got signed.
Yes. Yeah, we have been signed.
Next class of NXT. It's
See
us.
you later. Thanks
Right.
for the paycheck.
Yes.
So apparently, a couple signings have gone down for NXT. First one rumored is Harlem Bravado,
Yes.
one half of the Bravado brothers.
Okay.
Who they had runs, I feel like, in every indie, like like the 2010s, like early 2010s.
Yeah.
Ring of Honor, Chikara, I don't know, WXW, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You name it, they were probably there.
Ring of Honor Chikara, Full Impact Pro.
Holy shit, that's a fucking name I've heard
And
in a long time.
Noah.
FIP.
So
They were in Noah?
That's what it says here.
Wow. I know they were in Evolve too.
Yeah.
So.
It's I wonder what were they doing recently that he gets the WWE sign.
I wonder if it's the Evolve connection.
Okay.
Evolve is closed, right? Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause WWE owns it.
I wonder if
whatever.
like they,
Yeah.
just signing some talent from there.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a Bravado Brothers match. I probably can't even name a Bravado Brothers match, to be honest. But all right,
Is he as a
Interesting
wrestler?
sign. I would imagine so.
Okay.
I would think.
Because according to the Wikipedia, they haven't wrestled since 2016.
No, well that was part of the tag
The
team.
brothers, yeah, sure.
His brothers retired.
Okay.
And Harlem continued. So.
Okay. Well.
Yeah, I'll be like I said. I remember them. I can't name a single match, so who knows? I haven't seen a Bravado Brothers match
Sure.
in ages.
Okay. Well, Harlem Bravado. I'm sure his name will be something else.
And then the other person who got signed, allegedly, is one Miss Taya Valkyrie.
Taya Valkyrie.
Which that doesn't surprise me.
No, the wife of Johnny Nitro, John Morrison. Is that what he is now?
Yeah.
Okay. Again, I guess not now.
Yeah, when he
now
was-
and again.
When he was on like all the shows, he'd be like, "Oh, Johnny Impact,"
Yes.
and then Johnny Lucha Underground.
Yeah, I was gonna say Johnny Lucha Underground. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Taya's signed, I guess. Not a surprise. Once
No.
Morrison went back.
Well, when I saw this, I looked up just to see if it was true and found the fact that apparently on Impact she was the one that shot the person at the wedding in that angle.
Oh, okay.
And that was literally how they wrote her out of the company because they knew she was leaving. Because I guess afterwards, when it's revealed that she framed somebody for it, Tommy Dreamer told her if you're lucky, you'll be sent to the Jacksonville State Penitentiary, and if you're unlucky, you're going to do 2 to 3 years with the possibility for an extension at Stamford State jail. And I was like, okay, all right.
Yeah. I know she had a long run in Impact.
Yeah.
I know she was Impact World Champ, I think a couple times.
World champ, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I just don't know. I don't have an opinion on her. I've seen her wrestle less than a handful of
Knockouts
times.
champ, whatever
Sure.
they call it.
But like, yeah, I don't really have an opinion. I don't know if she's good or bad.
She's okay.
Okay. It'd be interesting to see if they're gonna keep her on NXT for a while, or if they think she's enough of a name to put her in the main roster.
Yeah, it's weird because NXT, you kind of feel like, all right, like I imagine Rhea left.
Yeah,
I imagine she's gone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They have a lot of women under contract.
Yeah,
a lot.
Their roster is very good,
and they have 2 hours of TV.
Yes,
weekly.
Yes,
and that's where it gets to that whole. It's tough,
mm-hmm.
You know.
I agree.
And then the main roster, there's a ton of women that don't get used there.
Right.
So that just seems to be the general landscape of, hey, let's stockpile.
Yeah.
And see what happens.
Yeah.
So.
Speaking of women on the main roster, after post takeover, they had the little like behind the scenes Royal Rumble 2021 thing, and right before we recorded, you weren't in the room to see this, but it showed Flair hugging Bianca Bel-Air after her win, and he was like, "It's a great feeling. It's an amazing match. All that." And I was like, "That's She came in at number 3.
That's the spot.
Right.
Too bad I had number 3 in the men's Rumble this year on ad odds.
Listen, let's just not talk about our spots. Do we have any other news? Can we move on past what my spot was in the Royal Rumble?
Yeah, the last was we were watching the kickoff show a little bit.
Oh, right.
With Wade Barrett. The guy that your wife Michelle said, "What the fuck is that?" when talking about Sam Roberts.
Right.
And Bobby Eaton.
Bobby Eaton's illegitimate son.
So his name was Brandon
Walker. Which is different than Stan Lane's illegitimate daughter or legitimate daughter.
My God. Sweet Stan.
Sweet Stan.
That's a whole other fucking route. So his name is Brandon Walker. He is with Barstool Sports.
Yeah.
Barstool Sports is very polarizing to a lot of people.
Sure.
Rightfully so. But I guess he does like a wrestling podcast with them now. And from what I know, the CEO of Barstool Sports is now on like some governing board for WWE.
Interesting.
So I imagine there's going to be opportunities like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. The kids love the Barstool.
So are we going to be able to start gambling on wrestling then?
You can gamble on wrestling now.
Really?
Yeah. Not on like any of the big apps, but you go to like a offshore gambling. Oh God.
You can bet on who Vince decided he wanted to win this week.
Yeah.
Okay.
You absolutely could.
All right. I like it. I like it.
It's odd.
Listen, you want to waste your money, you go right ahead.
Yeah. Well, these 3 are doing the pre-show, and then all of a sudden you hear like a disruption. Mm-hmm. And in comes Eli Drake.
No, it will not.
Well, in comes Eli Drake. At first.
Okay. What we thought was Eli Drake.
Yeah. Eli Drake has been a free agent for a while now. Mm-hmm. Last I saw him, he was doing shit with NWA.
He was on NWA.
Obviously, NWA is just kind of done at this point.
I think he was like wrestling Nick Aldis at one point. He was sort of challenging for the NWA title. And NWA's coming back. They're doing another YouTube show, and they're part of the agreement with Impact and AEW because
and now New Japan
because Serena Deeb is obviously there. True. So
well. He says his new name, and his name is L.A. Knight.
Yes, that's Knight with a K. He was like Los Angeles, L.A., and I'm L.A. Knight. That's real dumb. It is a level of not trying that is almost impressive.
It's a real bad name.
There's been some bad wrestling names in history and recently, I'm sure. But man, that's a bad one. That is a 0 effort name.
That's like TL Hopper level.
Yeah, like you get that name and you ask if you can come back with something better. And if you can't, then I guess you're stuck with L.A. Knight.
L.A. Knight.
But
Eli Drake, I don't really have much of an opinion on him. No. I've seen him. I've seen him wrestle a bunch, but it's just another one where I don't hate him. I don't like him. He's just a guy.
I've seen him a few times. The things I've seen from him, I've never seen him sort of elevate his talent. He's just there and fine. Wrestles like a typical guy of his size in American wrestling.
Like the signing to me for some reason like gives me like shades of EC3.
Yeah,
where like he came in and it was just like. I don't like him, but I don't hate him. He's just there.
Right. And then he does nothing. And I said this to you, but like L.A. Knight isn't going to hold a title in NXT.
No.
I'm not saying the guy. I'm not saying his ability. I'm saying the name. It's
just
not going to be a new NXT champion, LA Knight. It's not going to happen. It's not going to headline to WrestleMania, and it's fine. Doesn't have to. I'm not saying that everyone, you're not good unless you headline to WrestleMania. I'm just saying that is bad creative, and he should have known better. Or he's just like, I would assume he's a bit of an older dude. He's been around for a while. He's like, all right, I'll take my WWE run. Yep. I'll take that paycheck, that guaranteed money.
Yeah.
And in NXT, I don't have to travel too much. Maybe I'll make the occasional jaunt up to Allentown, Pennsylvania, if the world ever recovers.
There you go.
And that's it. But
yeah,
he's a permanent coconut loop kind of guy.
Yeah, I mean, to debut him on the pre-show and then to have like the video,
the signing they did later, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see. Again,
something.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Let's get into the actual show. Though.
5 matches. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. Well, we start the show off with like some weird fucking hip hop thing.
Yeah.
That was real awkward and dumb.
Wasn't
a fan. I felt like an old.
Okay.
When I was watching it, I don't relate to this.
We kind of are old now, but I'm definitely an old. The kind of was just because you're borderline.
Yeah, I'm
100% an
getting
old.
Borderline old.
I'm
right?
100% old.
I like being old.
Me too. I've been old for a long time. I've been old. I was old when I was young.
Oh Jesus! First match: Women's Dusty Cup Tag Team Classic Finals.
Yes.
The winners get the shots at the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship.
Yes.
Dakota Kai, Raquel Gonzalez, the dudettes with attitudettes.
That's right.
Going up against Ember Moon and Shotzi.
Did they not give themselves a fun name?
No.
Okay.
To me, I don't know. It should have just been called, bad motherfuckers or something.
Okay.
Because when they made their entrance,
I don't think that would have passed the ratings board of television, but
I mean, LA Knight did.
That's true.
When they made their entrance, my instant thoughts were, boy, I'd like a 2-pack of an elite 2-pack of these two.
I bet you would.
Well, I mean, goes without saying.
By 2-pack, you mean 2-pack of Kiss cards, right?
No, I'm not a creep.
Okay.
No.
All right. Well, you just disenfranchised a quarter of our audience. Thanks, pal.
I'm going to be nice, and I'm not going to say what or who came to my head. I'm glad we're on the same wavelength.
Dudettes with attitudettes versus Shotzi and Ember.
Yeah. So this goes.
Talk it out. Talk it out. Let's go.
This goes over 17 and a half minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Dakota and Raquel.
Yes.
They get the win.
They do.
They win the tournament. This match was a fucking red hot opener.
Fantastic.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Loved every second of it. I said to you during the match, there is not a bump that Dakota Kai will refuse to take.
Right.
She's a crazy lady.
Yep. On her forehead, on her back, on her neck, on her legs, whatever.
Care.
Nope, take them all.
Shotzi's the same.
Yep.
She just throws all caution to the wind. That suicide dive she had where...
Yeah.
If she went like half a foot further, she was breaking her teeth.
Yeah, listen, it fills your... well, maybe not because of the state of the table later on in the show. But... I mean, it fills up your bump card pretty quick. But it sure is entertaining.
There were some moments during the match where I legit gasped. The one where Raquel was going to dump Ember Moon on the entrance side, and I didn't realize the entrance ramp went to the ring.
They did the raised entrance this takeover.
My heart stopped for a second.
Me too. I didn't realize it either. I thought they were just dumping her.
When I saw she was getting dumped and she was just flat packing, I was like, oh my God, she's going to fucking die.
Yep.
Thank God it was the raised entrance ramp.
Right.
They did like the Doomsday cross body on the outside to Dakota Kai. Raquel Gonzalez, that finisher on Shotzi where it was like a last ride, one-arm
extra
power
high.
bomb.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What? This was a banger.
Great. I said it when we recorded for the regular recording last week that this was my most anticipated match, which sets it up for failure because I'm going to build it up so much. I think so highly of these 4 women. They always deliver. So having that sort of, well, this match is going to be above and beyond great because of how much I love these 4 can hurt it because how do you live up to that? This match did. It's exactly what it needed to be. It was a ton of fun. The pacing was right. It was good tag team stuff in there, good heel work, good everything. Crazy bumps. And I couldn't be happier. And now the Dudettes with Attitudettes are going to go. I'm assuming they'll get their shot soon. I wouldn't be surprised if it happened at WrestleMania. I was going to say that, like it doesn't seem like, from what little I pay attention to the regular shows, that they have much to do with the women's tag belts now. I think they're kind of stale. They flip flop back and forth from Charlotte and Asuka to Nia and Baszler. So do it at Mania. I think Raquel lining up with Nia is a good matchup. I think you can build Raquel, have her body slam Nia, sort of build that up, sort of the two powerhouses, the two strong women going after each other there. And then Dakota has this sort of other, even though that would be heel on heel, but whatever. Yeah. But then you have Dakota with the sort of the, she's undersized, she's smaller, just getting the shit ragdolled out of her by Baszler.
Yeah,
it works, and I would be very excited to see that.
Yeah, and somebody on Twitter made the point, I read it earlier this week, where that women's tag team division on the main roster is dead because you're just throwing people together.
Yeah. Right.
They're not establishing tag teams at all. Like Shayna and Nia, they were just thrown together. Now I understand they've been going for a little bit now, but still, they're just thrown together.
They're throwing them together, and then after some success, establishing them.
And that's not the way it should be done.
It just doesn't work.
And maybe you put the belts on Dakota and Raquel, get those belts off of NXT or off the main roster. Maybe they move up to the main roster. I don't know.
I don't know.
Listen, I like Raquel a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's ready.
I don't think she's ready. I don't think either of them are ready.
I think Dakota is. Dakota's ready. Raquel is still kind of sometimes.
Dakota's very good. I think if they were to go right now, the main roster, I think Raquel would do better because of her look, because she's her stature. Dakota is a very good wrestler, but to step in the ring to stand across from your Charlotte Flairs, your Bianca Bel-Airs, there's just visually there's just a separation there. But Dakota's definitely a good enough wrestler to be there for sure.
Well, if Vince has any sense left in that brain of his,
he doesn't.
Just look at them and go, all right, you're Diesel Shawn.
Right.
Like, literally, that's all you need to do.
Let us book it.
Yeah. There was also a part during the match where, what's her name? Raquel launched Ember Moon off the entrance ramp into, like, the barrier. Oh, my God.
But they gave it, like, a half an hour. Like, it was...
Half hour?
Was it? That's what the match took?
It was like 17 minutes.
Really? That's it?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. It didn't end till around half hour in the show, but I guess with all the entrances, beginning stuff. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but no, but for real, great opener. Great match. We were so pumped about it.
Yeah, super pumped. Tons of potential. The right decision, the winning decision for the picks this week, so I win all 5 in a row. Yeah. Get that out of the way right now.
There you go. For the first time
the first time ever, I was right. You only picked Shotzi and Ember to be different, so we had a deciding factor.
Sure.
So you handed this one to me. But yeah, really, really great stuff. A ton of potential in these two. And we'll see. One of the best women's tag matches that WWE's had, I don't know if they've had a better one since, was when the Kabuki Warriors visited Team Kick on NXT for their title shot. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Whenever that was that 2019?
No,
that was pre-COVID.
That was 2019, yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, COVID's been around forever.
Right. So we'll see. One half of that is going to be involved again. So a little quarter of it, I guess.
So next match we have for the NXT North American title, Johnny Gargano defending against Kushida.
Yes.
On the way to the ring, they show the way walking through the back. Shitheads kind of leading from the back.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you see someone reach out and chloroform him.
Yep. Gets the old rag behind the head.
Who could have that been?
Who could that be?
Our resident tortured caricature artist himself.
Right.
Dexter Lumis.
And not to the spoiler for the match, we don't get any other payoff for it.
I'm fine with it.
Me too.
Because when Johnny's coming to the ring, he sees Indy and Candice with him, and he doesn't see Dickhead, and he says, you got to go find him.
Right.
So right there, the chicaneries, you take it out of it. And I'm very happy that there was no sort of, like, bullshit in this match. Because this match goes about 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Gargano retains. I fucking loved this match. I absolutely loved it.
Right. So I expected some shenanigans with, Loomis at the end, or, Loomis coming to the ramp with like with redacted beat up or something to distract Johnny to give the Kushida the win. I thought that's the direction they were going. They didn't, and I'm super happy about it. We're gonna get the payoff on Wednesday. So it's gonna happen. It's gonna move that this title belt into the probably Loomis challenging Johnny for it, whatever. But we didn't get a payoff. We got two guys who can wrestle like crazy, just having a match. There was no outside anything, no threat of it, no concern of it. It was just these two guys are going to go in and have a banger, and they did.
It was amazing. It was honestly amazing.
Right.
At one point in the match, I said to you, this is the type of match where I'm so mad that there's COVID. Because imagine this in front of an arena with like 8,000 people. The place would have been fucking going nuts.
Absolutely. This is your classic level of takeover kind of match. It was back and forth. And listen, these guys can wrestle. Johnny is a very good in ring.
Johnny's great.
Kushida is fantastic in the ring. This is easily Kushida's best WWE match. Easily his highest profile WWE match. The match that everyone sort of has been holding their breath for them to let Kushida have. And then Johnny too. Johnny's had a lot of matches in the WWE and a lot of matches in NXT that are high. I mean, the guy's has held the main belt twice, right?
Yeah.
And so and now this 2 or 3 times, depending on if you count the little one-day breaks. Some of their best, some of Gargano's best, Kushida's definite best in WWE.
Easily.
And, go back, watch the tapes. I'll say it without doing any research, but one of Kushida's best matches overall. And this dude's a very good wrestler. So this was a great match for him, a great match for Johnny. Kushida, I think, since he lost, I don't know if he moves on to bigger things, moves up a little bit. He's certainly not going to drop down at all.
It's tough.
It is tough.
Because there are so many players right now in NXT where
and they keep bringing more in.
More people get brought in, and it's like you don't want this guy to fall to the wayside. But, man, it was so... honestly, for me... That was probably a top 5 Kushida match ever.
Yeah, it was really
I think
good.
so.
Yeah.
I loved the intensity. I loved him still working the arm.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't take anything away from Gargano either. No. That dude can fucking go.
It was a very high quality juniors match.
And I said to you during the match, a lot of people, they hear junior heavyweight and they think, okay, it's just going to be a bunch of flips and all this shit. Not Kushida.
No.
That dude doesn't do that.
Nope.
He wrestles you and he beats you up. Right. And, oh, my God, it was so good.
It was a really good match. I cannot
stress how great this was.
Yeah.
Go out of your way to watch this.
Yes.
It just incredible. Next match we have Dusty Rhodes Men's Tag Team Classic Finals.
Yeah.
Grizzled Young Vets going up against MSK.
And so this we joked about it while we were watching it. This is the cool down match because the first 2 matches were so hot, so good, just fast paced, all over the place, quality takeover matches. And then for us personally, Grizzled Young Vets comes out and it lowers the temperature of the room.
Yeah.
It's, again, not that they're bad. I would not say they're bad. But they have not connected with me on any level.
Listen, in ring, they're good.
Right.
They really are.
Yeah.
But overall, characters or whatever, I said this the other day, I could not give less of a fuck.
Right.
It's just, I don't know, they don't do anything for me.
And I like MSK. We've seen, 3 matches out of them so far?
Yeah.
I like them. I wish I still knew what MSK stood for. Because we're probably wrong, but
I was supposed to.
But going in, I'm like, okay, Grizzly and Vets. This is the cool down, especially because knowing the next 2 matches are going to be, have the potential to be as good as they are. Because typically, Io Shirai and Finn Balor and Pete don't miss. Tony Storm, they don't miss. So I was like, all right, this is the cool down. Let's get this one out of the way.
Yeah.
But it was good.
Yeah, I mean, it goes like 18 minutes.
Yeah.
MSK, they get the win. They win the tournament. A lot of people kind of maybe questioning the hot shot of them just coming in and winning a tournament right out and beating like established teams.
Yeah.
I like it. They're baby faces.
Yep.
You want to make them seem like a big deal because outside of this tag team tournament, the tag team division has been
nowhere.
It's been very soft.
Right. So you have the heels with the titles who have been doing basically nothing, and I know they've been pushed to the side because this tournament was happening, but they were given the titles for the storyline with. What's that punter's name?
Pat McAfee.
Pat McAfee.
That punter.
So they were given that. That's why they had them. But then there was no thought of what to do after McAfee was done. So they've just been kind of holding them. And again, Orkin and Lurch, Danny Burch. That's his name. They're fine. Whatever. But it's a stale run. It doesn't matter. So you got to put it on a baby face. And, you get somebody new who's hot and impressive. They're fun. MSK is fun to watch. They do some cool things. So I think that's good, and I think they're going to win those belts when they get their shot. I
assume that they're another one. I don't know when the next takeover is. I assume
a month or two, I would guess. I think they win the belts before that, though.
It's not going to be WrestleMania weekend since WrestleMania is 2 days this year.
Yeah.
So I don't think it'll be then. Who knows when the next one is? I don't know. But it'll be interesting. But yeah, MSK, they're fun, man.
I think
they're
it's probably in a month we'll probably see like a Wednesday night NXT branded something like they did with
like Halloween Havoc and Great American Bash.
And I think that's when they'll challenge and they'll probably win them because then you can set up. Honestly, the NXT tag division is deeper on the heel side than it is on the face side, I think. So you put that on them, and then that opens it up for whoever else you happen to want that's around there.
Yeah, because I don't think
Imperium or whoever
Thatcher
else.
Ciampa thing's going to last.
Nah.
I feel like it was just like, we'll team here, and then we respect each other, we'll go our separate ways.
Right. It was cool for the tournament. I can see them like having each other's back in the future, but I don't think they'll keep a run as a tag team.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah.
Best part of the night is up next.
Yeah.
We have a music video.
Right. I was going to say, the best part of the night was that one guy from Grizzled Young Vets who has his own face on the butt of his tights.
Yeah, he has his own face on his tights, and the other guy just has his own name on this.
Yeah.
So that's fun.
The name I'll allow.
Yeah. Your own face.
I'll allow the face if you're Buff Bagwell. I'll allow someone else's face if you're Rick Rude.
Damn right. So the music video starts.
Yes.
And who are we with?
We're with Cameron Grimes.
Our boy, Cameron Grimes.
Yeah. Everyone's boy.
Throwing money around.
Yes.
Driving in like 3 different Lamborghinis. Setting money on fire. Jumping in pools in his briefs.
Yeah. Yep. Just doing a much more intense money angel. That dude's something.
He's the best. He's great.
Right.
I hope that this goes somewhere just amazing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's going to be rich for a while, and then he's going to lose it all, and then he's going to be broke again, and, it'll be hilarious.
And I'll be sad. Because that man needs all the money.
This video was amazing, and just
it was so good.
Hilarious, and it's a fun gimmick. It's interesting to see where it's going to go, because it really was. It was just a ton of fun.
Yeah.
And it's silly, but in the right way.
Yeah.
Grimes makes it believable, because that promo on Wednesday was really, really good. And this is a good video package, so I'm sure we're going to see him on Wednesday again coming out, and, I don't know if he'll light money on fire like he did in this video, but
just lighting $100 bills on fire and smoking cigars.
Right.
What a man. Next matchup, we have NXT Women's Championship match. Io Shirai defending against Mercedes Martinez and Toni Storm.
Yes.
This is the shortest match of the night. 12 minutes.
Okay. That's an appropriate length.
Io retains.
Yeah.
So here's my thoughts.
Okay.
Maybe they could have taken a few minutes off of the opener.
Yeah.
Or taken a few minutes off of the men's tag and put it on this one.
Okay.
I felt like, I don't know. I like the triple threat because anything could happen. Anybody could pin anybody.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It just something just didn't. Well, I don't know. Something didn't click.
Yeah.
It was still. I thought it was still good, but it didn't. I don't know. I was waiting for that next level to hit, and it never hit.
So, I mean, because this show is over by 9:30, they don't need to take any time off anybody. They could just give this time.
Well, they could, but at the same time, I don't need every match to be almost 20 minutes.
Right.
You know?
I like this. I'll agree it didn't go to that next level. And I think part of the blame for that is that for as good as Tony is and for as good as Mercedes is, and I like them both, neither of them are legit threats for that belt. I don't think they have a legit threat for that belt in that company right now.
I agree with that.
So, I thought it was paced well. It was the 2 in, 1 out, then the one does something to get in where you don't see it, then it's those 2 in, the one gets tossed out, a couple moves with all 3 of them, then somebody gets the powder, and then they all go, triple threats are hard. I think 3-way dances are much better because you can get the elimination style. But it's easier in a triple threat to not steal everyone's heat at the end of the match with the winner. One of them can take the pinfall. Somebody else still can keep their heat and have a legitimate challenge like Tony does in this. I thought the finish was good. But Io is so good, and this run is so long, and she's so convincing in that ring that they need a megastar to take that belt away. I don't think there's anyone right now. They need to build somebody up or
I don't know if they
can. I don't know if they can. I honestly, to make it believable, I don't see anyone right now in the company being able to come and beat Io.
Maybe Asuka.
But
why would she?
Why would she?
Would
main
she?
roster, sure. But NXT wise, I don't know who's going to take that belt. They can build somebody. Tony Storm could. Tony Storm's very good, but it's going to take a while. So Io right now is so untouchable that it doesn't hurt the match. It's still a good match, but it does sort of hurt the storytelling because I was never actually concerned. It's Io.
No, and here's my thing with Tony Storm. That Mae Young Classic match a couple years ago she had with Io was great. Mm-hmm. Some of the matches she had with Rhea Ripley over in NXT UK I thought were really good. There hasn't been much since, though.
Right.
Like, she's had okay stuff, but not like that really great match. And the finish came, Io pinned Mercedes. After Tony Storm had Mercedes pinned, Io hits the moonsault on top of them. She pins Mercedes.
Yeah.
So
Tony rolls out of the way because she's hurt.
Yeah, because Tony doesn't take the fall. So there's Tony's built in right there. You didn't beat me. Maybe we can get her and Io again.
Maybe.
Right. And maybe it'll be like the whole Tony's Io's kryptonite. Io can't beat Tony one-on-one.
Yeah.
Maybe. Just a thought. So, I don't know.
It's going to be interesting. It is somebody
that's a little
higher.
I love the division.
Right. Me too.
It's still fucking great.
Right.
But, you see Tony, and like you said, like, I don't know. I almost expect, like, more, like give me more, just give me that.
And there, Rhea was on that next level in the women's division.
Rhea was way different.
Raquel felt like it, but that was just to give Rhea the send off. So they can certainly do that with Raquel. It just takes a bit more. It's not as solid in the ring, but her imposing size helps. But it'll be interesting. There's other possibilities. It's far off, but I can see. Tegan returning from injury is the triumphant story to give a good challenge to Io. But there's, it's the division is great. It's just Io's on a different level than everybody. I also don't think there's a guy in that company that could beat Io right now, believably.
No,
so
on the pre-show, the one guy said, "Oh, I think she's the best female wrestler in the world," and we're like, "You don't have to say female.
Nope, don't have to say female.
She's probably the best wrestler in the world right now."
Absolutely. So that's the thing. Like, I don't see anybody that can conceivably show up and beat her. It's going to take build and story and, maybe heel. Maybe you go full heel with somebody and it's, it's a win, but it's cheating. It's, and do it that way because she's on a hot streak. She's been on a hot streak for a long time. And this at the end of it will be a pretty legendary title run in professional wrestling.
She's untouchable. Honestly, she is untouchable to me. Main event time, though.
Main event.
We have Finn Balor defending the NXT title, going up against Pete Dunne.
Handsome Pete Dunne.
He sure is. They've never wrestled before. Mm-hmm. Just this on paper, you and I were like, whoa, this is a big match.
For sure.
This is a real big match. This goes 25 minutes.
Yep.
Finn Balor wins.
Yes.
He retains. Both of us not surprised by it.
Right.
I'll tell you what, man. That dude just delivers. He delivers big matches.
Yeah.
He just, I mean, the 2 matches with O'Reilly, like, the guy, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
His matches with, like, Cole.
Yeah.
He delivers, dude.
He does. I'll say the 2 matches with O'Reilly were better than this one. But he knows how to bring it on a big show. Balor is very, very good. And, is a guy who, from the get-go when he came back, we're like, he's a little too big for NXT, but it fits there as champ. I don't see him ever having the ability to sort of walk back down the card and challenge for the North American belt.
No.
Because he's bigger, but he's not used right on the main roster, so I don't ever want him to leave.
No.
But yeah, he delivers big-time matches on big-time events and makes everything feel bigger,
listen, he's got
special.
some good dance partners.
Sure. Absolutely.
O'Reilly twice and now Pete Dunne.
Yeah,
like,
right.
You don't really get much better.
Right. That's the thing. He goes to the main roster. What's he doing?
Like
having a match against Braun Strowman.
Like the first 5 minutes was like really good technical wrestling, I thought.
Yeah, right.
And then there was like at times where they were just beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
A little gripe, I guess.
Sure.
And we talked about this
gripe,
during
yes.
the Kushida match too.
Yeah. It's a long time done gripe.
Yeah, and I've mentioned this before on the show. MMA-based offense, if done right, it works. Like the first O'Reilly Balor match, they did it right.
Yes.
But like during the Kushida match, when he has Johnny Gargano in an armbar for like 20 seconds, a full extension armbar,
right?
It's hard for anybody to suspend disbelief.
Right. And it's a long-standing professional wrestling submission hold. Kendo Kashin.
Yeah.
Alberto Del Rio. It's
another redacted.
Right. So, but you have to pro wrestlingize it, essentially. And I said this to you while we were watching. And it's a long-standing thing with this style. If I wanted to watch MMA, I'd watch MMA. But I want to watch professional wrestling. I'm watching professional wrestling.
I agree.
It's not that you can't bring MMA in.
You can do it.
I mean, Antonio Inoki has tried for far too long, both successfully and unsuccessfully.
Come on, man. You're not a fan of Inokiism?
Right. But, and I said to you while we were watching it, a sleeper hold is just a rear naked choke, right?
In the world, yeah,
right.
That's
it's
what
the
it
pro
is.
wrestling version of a rear naked choke, but it's pro wrestlingized. They add the arm lift around it. They do all that kind of stuff. This match, Balor got choked out, and then the referee was like, "Hold on, I got to check on him to make sure I'm not going to stop the match."
Dunn put him in a triangle choke.
Right.
Like, guess what? I was watching the UFC pay-per-view last night. They were tapping out to a triangle choke. Like, it just same thing with the armbar. Like,
right. So it's not that they can't be done. You just have to pro wrestling-ize it for it to work. If I put you in a real armbar like that, you don't get the use of your arm anymore if you don't tap. When you watch MMA, when somebody gets, unless you're a bad motherfucker, like a Forrest Griffin level, I don't feel pain motherfucker, you tap before that arm is reached back because you'll blow your elbow and your shoulder. It's gone.
Go ask Tim Sylvia what Frank Mir did.
Right. So you see those guys, if they get that finger grip, if that starts to slip, they tap because they
done.
know their arm is done. Rear naked choke. If I get that synced on their right, that cuts off the blood flow. You got 5 seconds before you're out. Yep. There's no waiting around trying to struggle out of it. You're just out. So wrestling needs to take those moves and pro wrestlify it with the arm lifts, with the grabbing the fingers and rolling over. And Pete Dunne and a lot of other wrestlers tend to make it a little too much MMA. And Dunne also does the finger snap thing, which is a big deal to me. Not a big deal, but it's a problem. It's a cool visual. But especially in this match, he did it 3-4 times to Balor. How many times are you going to break his fingers and he's still using his hands?
You can't just keep breaking somebody's fingers.
It's a good thing at the end. It's a good thing as a carry, as an addition to a submission hold. But if you're doing it 2-3 times, you're like, okay, there's no effect to this because you're making it look like you broke his fingers. Well, then he can't use his goddamn hand anymore. And Balor was selling a little bit, then they weren't. You have to be mindful of that kind of stuff. So, the MMA style like this is a little awkward. I think the things that Tim Thatcher does is even a little different than this. It's a much slower, less fanciful style of it. And when it's up to the sell and how you do that kind of thing. But in this match, it didn't work. It bothers me a little bit. The match was still really good. These guys are still very good wrestlers. This is us watching a show that had 5 solid matches. Yeah. Going, all right, well, we're gonna have to nitpick something, or else we're just like, it was good. See you later. Good night, everybody. So that's my gripe. Sort of our collective gripe.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, listen,
it wasn't bad at all.
Like, you and I have been watching MMA a very long time.
Yes.
And wrestling, you could do some other submissions, man.
Right.
Like, I get a lot of these guys, they watch MMA.
Right.
It is what it is. Some of the guys, they train jiu-jitsu.
Right.
You know?
And there's that pull to bring it in to make wrestling more believable, but stuff like this backfires.
Yeah.
Because if you're bringing in the people who know MMA or the people who just watch wrestling who also watch MMA, know the level of these moves, and it's sort of, it can backfire and twist it the way you don't want to twist it. So that's sort of the Pete Dunne thing. Again, it doesn't make him bad. I really enjoy watching Pete Dunne wrestle.
I love Pete Dunne.
It's just a minor gripe on a show that we literally can't gripe about anything else other than the fact that the announce table completely shit the bed, seemingly on its own.
That was great, dude.
during the 3-way, and so that was your botch of the night. But there's just nothing else to gripe about. So
yeah.
I'm gonna we're gonna be gripey and we're gonna pick on poor old Pete Dunne.
Good old Peter Dune.
But it was still very good.
Yeah. And after the match, Finn's celebrating on the ramp.
Yes.
Birch and Lorcan run down. They're beating the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Undisputed Era runs out. It was O'Reilly, Strong, and Cole.
So shocked at this because the tag champs are in there. We know that MSK gets a title shot. We were half expecting MSK, but they have been working the Undisputed Era gimmick with Balor. Sort of, in more of an AEW kind of way, teasing whether or not Balor's going to join. Like, just have a little 3 seconds on TV and then never bring it up and expect us to assume that he's joining.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Undisputed Era comes out for the save.
Yeah, they get the save. Dunn's down on the ground. Or not Dunn, excuse me. Balor. O'Reilly offers the hand, picks him up. He goes, listen, man. He goes, you're awesome. Mm-hmm. He goes, you're a champ. You're what champions are made of.
Yeah.
They line up and do the UE pose. Mm-hmm. You're thinking, well, here it is.
Yeah.
Balor's in.
Yep.
Balor does his finger guns, and Adam Cole fucking super kicks the shit out of him. To which Roddy and O'Reilly start pushing Cole. Like, what are you doing? Why what is your problem?
Right.
And Adam Cole, just a scowl on his face. Mm-hmm. He just says, okay, all right. And then he fucking levels O'Reilly with a super kick.
Right.
God damn.
So, kind of saw this coming. I call this to you because I think this is the more shocking way to go. I think Balor, and we've been talking about this for a few weeks. Balor and Cole in the same faction doesn't really work. The egos are too big. Those are two leaders.
Two Bullet Club guys.
Right. What if they did their own Bullet Club and then there was like the three companies?
And that's what I was thinking. I'm like, are they going to join together and then these two are going to start because they want to be the alpha?
Right. So it's interesting. No Bobby Fish. Probably out saving the world.
I think he's still hurt.
Yeah.
I think he got fucked up in that War Games match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I wonder, maybe he was like trying to sail to the end of the earth or something. I don't know. But
today's letter of the alphabet is Q.
So that was interesting, and then I was like, okay, well, I said, I think this is where they turn on O'Reilly because O'Reilly's no longer the tag wrestler in that faction.
No.
Cole has had his shot for a very long time. Cole is very good. Him and Roddy have been teaming up with Fish out, but O'Reilly has proved himself to be the wrestler that he is, and he's a singles wrestler in that company now. And the 2 matches with him and Balor are amazing. So it's like, I think this is what's coming because they need to. O'Reilly's too good in the ring to keep him in there, teasing he's a tag wrestler. But then Roddy in the ring confused, sort of not knowing how to react. And even when they cut off, Roddy's still there, confused, sort of torn. Do I go with Cole? What do I do? Do I help these guys up? These are my friends. While Cole is bailing is interesting because it gives us somewhere to go with the story. It gives us somewhere to go on Wednesday. Is this the Undisputed Era turning on O'Reilly? Or is this Adam Cole turning on Undisputed Era? what are we getting here? Where does Roddy fall? And then I assume whatever side Roddy falls, Bobby Fish will fall with him eventually. But sort of, it's an interesting thing. It could be a bunch of ways. Are we getting babyface UE with Roddy, Finn, and Balor? Or
Roddy, Finn, and Balor?
Or Roddy.
O'Reilly.
Right, O'Reilly.
I gotcha.
Or are we getting, them all separate with Cole as the heel? Or are we getting now back, because they've been sort of walking that face line since O'Reilly made them goofy. Are we getting heel UE again against Balor and O'Reilly? It's potential is there.
This just set up so many things.
Right.
So
what good wrestling is supposed to do.
Many things.
Because you don't have to pay this all off for 6 months. You can do the one thing, move to the next thing, move to the next thing.
Yeah.
You don't have to create something new. This opens up possibilities for everybody, and that's good. It opens up tag matches if Roddy goes with Cole. It opens up singles matches for Cole against all three of those dudes if they want to. It can go all over the place.
And honestly, does Roddy leave? Does Roddy leave just say, you know what?
Right.
I'm not doing
right.
this.
I'm not on either side.
Yeah,
I'm single.
I'm done.
Right.
And then he feuds with Cole, or he feuds with O'Reilly.
Exactly.
This can go so many different ways now, and I'm really intrigued by it. Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly. They have a past in Ring of Honor. They were a tag team.
Okay.
They were tag team champs. Cole turned on O'Reilly.
Oh,
there.
that son of a bitch! You should have saw it coming. Then why would you join up with them in NXT?
Their matches they had against each other were just killer.
Right.
Yeah, dude, it's super interesting.
Listen, every combination of those four guys, your Adam Cole, your Roddy, your Finn Balor, and your Kyle O'Reilly, just randomize all four of them in any situation you could think of.
Put their names on a randomizer, just hit the button. Okay, this is what we're doing.
Do the match, do a stipulation, any combination of the four, 3, 2, all four, whatever. You're going to get good out of it. So I'm not complaining.
My ideal scenario is Cole takes the belt from Balor.
Okay.
O'Reilly takes the belt from Cole. I think
interesting.
I think that would be
just
chef's kiss.
Okay.
And
I like it.
I would.
That
would if I'm booking. That's what I'm doing.
I think O'Reilly deserves that belt, and no matter how they get there, he's not going to turn and be Balor. They did that twice. That's done.
Yeah.
Unless they decide to do a rubber match, but I don't think they will.
I wonder if it's maybe like I don't know. Maybe even after, maybe O'Reilly wins the belt.
Right.
Says to Balor, listen, you have my back.
Right.
I'm going to give you the shot.
Right.
I don't know. They can play this out though. Listen, I would fucking love for this to be in front of fans.
Right.
Could you imagine O'Reilly beating Cole for the belt in front of fans?
Right.
Oh my God.
Would be a crazy cool thing is Cole wins from Balor. And Cole comes out and cuts the promo. My run's going to be the year long again. Everyone knows I can do it. I've always done it. No, nobody was able to beat me then. This is my run. And then he loses the next match to O'Reilly because everyone expects another Cole run, and O'Reilly beats him no defense for Cole. It's a great way to do it. And I think O'Reilly's worth it. And he's a good choice.
I love Kyle O'Reilly.
They built him really well these last few months. So.
Oh man, I'm getting excited, dude. I wish I could sit there and just write out what I want to book.
Right.
But oh man,
is it good?
I'm just gonna real quick.
Yeah.
Your favorite match from the show?
I was just about to ask you.
All right. Well, ask me that. No, ask.
All right,
me.
pal. Hey, pal. Hey, Brett.
Yes, DJ.
Thank you, pal. What's your favorite match of the show?
So, I'm gonna go Kushida Gargano.
Okay.
I've been a big fan of Kushida for a long time.
Yeah.
We know what he's capable of, and seeing them finally be like, go do your thing.
Right.
And would I have liked if he won it? Yes. Mm-hmm. At the same time, Gargano last week, he's been killing it with his character lately. I did like to Gargano turning it on for Takeover, he said he was going to do.
Right.
That's going to be my match. Overall, the show, I'm just going to go with out of 10 for this.
Okay.
this takeover, and I tweeted out before the show started when LA Knight debuted. I said, "What has happened to my NXT?"
In the land of Tian Sha or Shan T, whatever, and LA Knight, it's got me a little worried.
Yes, and I said, "What has happened to my NXT?"
Right. And some rumored signings we're not going to talk about.
No,
until they happen.
If it happens,
if they happen, we were a little nervous about the state of our beloved NXT.
Yeah. And I even said this back with the whole McAfee thing when that happened, like how just awful I thought it was.
Yeah.
With this, like I tweeted it later. I was just like, I'll eat crow.
Yeah.
I can eat crow. I'm gonna go honestly 9.5 out of 10.
Okay.
I loved it. 4 out of the 5 matches I thought were absolute just like bangers. Like honestly, MSK Grizzly Vet, it's a really good match. Yep. Like go watch it.
Right.
Yeah, like those dudes don't really do much for me, but I'm not gonna say like if just because they don't do anything for me that like I'm not gonna recognize a good match.
Right.
But yeah, I'm gonna go 9.5 out of 10. Man, that felt like a takeover.
Right.
Like it was awesome front to back. I saw like a lot of people too on Twitter that don't really keep up with NXT as much as they used to. Yeah. Even being like, yeah, that was great.
Right.
You know, I thought they knocked it out of the park tonight.
So just before I make my picks, the Grizzly Young Veterans thing, it was a really good match. But those guys, and MSK is a little too new, but like those guys have not for me, and I think have not for a lot of people, reached that level of attachment that adds to a match. You know, the investment you get in the wrestlers. I'm not even saying if they're your favorite wrestlers, but like you get invested in certain storylines and certain wrestlers.
You do.
And these guys don't have that yet, or haven't for us. You know, from obviously this is our show, so it's our opinions. But like, I think a lot of other people can agree that they don't have that spark yet. So their match was really good. It was a good, solid tag match, but they don't have that elevation factor. No, they can't get it up.
And Joe,
oh Jesus, maybe they can allegedly. I don't know.
And Joe on At Odds said the same thing this week. He goes, you know what? He goes, I don't feel anything when they come out.
Right.
I don't hate them. I don't like it's just I don't care.
Right.
And again, really good match. I thought both tag matches were great endings of the tournaments. Honestly, dude, I don't know. Yeah. It felt like big matches, like a good shock ending.
Yeah.
And that's what takeovers were a lot. Right. So, and listen, dude, 2.5 hours.
It's a perfect, easy wrestling show.
Perfect.
I will agree with you. The overall, not a bad match. If you listen to us and use us as a guide for what you should or shouldn't watch, I can't honestly tell you to skip anything on this show. You can skip if you needed to. It's Grizzly Young Vets, but honestly, you'll be missing a good wrestling match. So don't skip anything. This felt like an old takeover, the heyday of takeovers, the pre-COVID days of professional wrestling. I almost said years. That's a haunting thought.
Oh yeah.
But don't skip anything. If you've ever listened to me when I plug the Cinema Vertigo, they always give me heat about my being very, very strict with my star ratings. I will take good movies and refuse to rate them because to be a perfect thing, you got to be real good. I'm gonna go a 9. So 4.5 out of 5. I'm going a 9 just to give that 1 point extra room. But man, this was a quality takeover. Great professional wrestling. The reason why this shows the reason why we do this podcast is the reason why I like professional wrestling. It's down the board. I liked everything. We can nitpick. We nitpicked about Dunn. None of that actually detracts from the match.
No, my God,
it's just us being goofy. But my match, probably a shock to no one. I'm going Dudettes with Attitudettes versus Shotzi and Ember because we've said it before. Good tag team wrestling will get me every time. I'm the most invested in that match on this show. It was my most anticipated match. The four of them, when they come out, they are the opposite of the Grizzly Young Vets. When any combination of those 4 women come out on TV, I'm immediately engaged in what are we doing with them? What are they going to do? What am I going to watch them do? This is awesome. So that was a really great tag team match. It ended the way it wanted to. I love all 4 of them. I would have been happy with either team winning. So that's my match, but amazing card. completely worth the watch. Go watch it all. Doesn't take that long.
No.
And you know, if and again, we talked about changing the rules to the show when I mentioned segment versus match. If we were talking segments here, every single match loses to Cameron Grimes. That's just what that is. People are just going to have to get used to that.
Deal with it.
But yeah, really great. Same page as you. I cannot praise this show enough. This was a takeover for the ages. A lot of people online saying a reset for NXT.
Possibly,
which is very possible.
Possibly,
I think every one of these matches has multiple directions to spin out of, which is the way wrestling should be.
That's your pay-per-views should either blow off for the feud or set up something like just set up a continuation, or like we're speculating that ending of the show. You can go so many different ways now.
We say it every time at the end of a match, at the end of a show. If everyone isn't elevated in one way or the other, winners and losers all have to be in a better place they were when they walked in, or you're not as successful as you can be. Everybody on the show is elevated in a way and can move on to other things that are meaningful and make sense and are high quality. Every single one of them. And that is the mark of a good wrestling show.
Yeah, this definitely has me hyped about NXT.
Yeah.
Wow.
And maybe they'll break 500,000 viewers this week when they come back on TV.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because the fallout should be good and meaningful. But we'll see.
Should it be?
We'll see.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Man, I just enjoy good wrestling. I don't give a fuck who else is watching.
Right, exactly. It's good wrestling. It's the reason why I like wrestling, and I'm pumped.
Hell yeah, dude.
Go watch more wrestling.
Are you?
Let's go watch more wrestling.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. I'm down.
All right.
Hell yeah!
Let me do the plugs and we'll go watch some wrestling.
All right.
Yeah, I got Kento Kobashi versus Big Boss Man in there. We'll go watch that.
Sign me the fuck up.
All right. Well, let's do the plugs then. Short list tonight, just because we'll hit them.
We're just keeping things short.
Keeping things short. Let's get out of here real quick. We're at Wednesday War Pod on Twitter and on Facebook. Wednesday Night War Podcast on Instagram. Wednesday Night War Pod at gmail.com if you want to email the show. And frankly, why wouldn't you? We're on the soon-to-be-named network at STBN Network, soon-to-be-named-network.com, soon-to-be-named-network.tumblr.com. You'll find all the shows there. We go over them every week. We'll go over them again next week. But go there. Check those guys out. They have lots of things. PW Ponderings, pwponderings.com, at PW Ponderings on Twitter. We are also posted up on there a few days after we record, so it'll be on our Podbean on our website first, then go over to those guys too. So check them out. And then one plug we'll do, Viewer's Choice, Tim and Marcus from Final Wrestling Place at VCon North, or VC on North South.
VCon North.
VCon North. That's what's. Listen,
I know.
I'm reading it. Messed up their plug. Perfect for me. VC on North South. Check those guys out. They'll also be covering this NXT Takeover. They do all pay-per-view reactions.
Very curious to hear the boys' thoughts.
So check those guys out too. We'll be back on Thursday with a new episode with the fallout from this and whatnot. But yeah, thanks for listening.
Yeah, I don't know. In the meantime, if you want to talk to us about this show, hit us up. I'm at BrettXEdge570 on Twitter. Talk to me about that. If you want to talk to me about that Forbidden Door getting kicked off its hinges, apparently.
Yes.
We'll talk about that. But yeah, at BrettXEdge570.
And I'm at the Dooge, TheDooge. You can see a picture of my Terry Funk custom action figure I'm working on.
Dude, honestly, I say this. It looks it looks even better in person. It looks killer.
We're getting there.
But yeah, everybody, thanks so much for listening. Hope you enjoyed some wrestling. And I don't know, pro wrestling. Let's go.
You're listening to the soon-to-be-named network, the Lamborghini of Podcast Network.
Knock it off.